This program for a long time. He was your former head coach as well in Shannon Welker, who is in year 12.
Yes, he's doing an excellent job with this program, and they are truly on the rise. It'll be interesting to see how tonight goes and watch this team.
He has brought this Tigers program into prominence. They have just continued to grow over the last decade plus as you look at the dual meet format. Mizzou did win a quad meet last Friday back in a dual meet format, 6 gymnasts per team. You draft the lowest score per event. Team with the highest cumulative score obviously wins. The home order, the Olympic order, is what Mizzou will go in. Vault to bars to beam to floor. And when we talked to Coach Welker earlier on this week, it's so massive for Mizzou to have a good start because they're opening up on the apparatus they struggle with the most. So if they could come out strong, it could really set them up for a big night.
That's exactly what they're looking for tonight, and Georgia in that second rotation will be looking to do the same.
Vault points of emphasis, you start value, execution, and landing, and it's certainly the landing element that Coach Welker was really harping on. Something they've struggled with the last couple of weeks, but he really expects them to find those landings and sticks in a hurry.
They sure do, and we're starting off strong with Kennedy Griffin. See if we can get those Tigers off to a strong start.
Kennedy Griffin, the sophomore from Strongsville, Ohio, to get things started at a 9-8 on vault last Friday. Also became the second youngest Mizzou gymnast to get a 10 when she got that 10 on floor last Friday in Mizzou to the loop. Just like that, we are off and running here on a Friday night in Como.
Kennedy Griffin starts out with a great Yurchenko full, almost gets the stick, but a slight hop backwards. It'll be a small deduction for that. Great start for the Missouri Tigers.
Just the exact kind of start we were talking about that they would love to have. About setting the tone early. Kennedy Griffin, the sophomore, doing just that. So Mizzou, 15th in the country on vault. And now you take a look at bars. This is Georgia's best apparatus. They are top 10 in the country, entering today 8th at EQS.
And up first, they have Chenge Bakshi, starting out with a beautiful pack to Shapash half, finishing out with a giant full double tuck, and she finds the landing. Beautiful stuck dismount. They are happy with that start to the meet.
She's making her bars debut for the year as well. She had competed this season on vault and floor. She's sensational on floor, leads the team at NQS in that event. But for a season debut on an apparatus, I mean, this was clutch.
I mean, no other way to start out your first bar routine of the year with a stuck dismount.
Jackson is the lineup change here in the 2 spot. Another one of these very important freshmen, Rayleigh Jackson, Olivia Kelly. They've had 2 very impactful ones this year for Shannon Welker.
Second up on vault, they have another Yurchenko full. Pretty sizable hop backwards on that, which will be a fairly large deduction. Overall, open shoulders on the table and nice clean form throughout.
That score hit for Kennedy Griffin, a 9.85. Certainly what Mizzou is looking for out of this shoot, but you expect a big score for Chenge Bakshi as well, the opener for Georgia, as we move things over to Holly Snyder. Sophomore from Maryland, at a 9.825 on bars last time out.
Unique casting with a straight body. You don't see that very often in NCAA gymnastics. Finishing off that routine with a handstand, just the dismount left. Gorgeous full twisting double tuck and finds that landing. Georgia's really off to the start that they were hoping for with the sticks.
So I talk about it so much in gymnastics. Sticks can be contagious. That was certainly the case last week on bars for Georgia, and it seems to be the case here for them in a true road meet here tonight in Como.
Absolutely. They are looking to just keep continuing to build momentum throughout this event.
Olivia Kelly up third for Mizzou. You go freshman into freshman, and there's none more impressive on this Missouri squad than the number 8 overall recruit in this freshman class.
Olivia Kelly does the same vault as the other previous gymnast, a Yurchenko full. Still a sizable hop backwards on that landing. Overall, a nice open shoulders and flat hips on the twist.
Big hop, high amplitude. She's got a ton of power. Last meet was her first meet doing 3 events. She's really growing into her freshman season, continuing to improve as the year goes on. Sadie Jane Barry is next up here. You know, freshman into freshman. Here's a look at her numbers on bars this year. This will be her 4th time performing on this event. A 9.875 in the first couple of meets. It's her first time on bars since that matchup at Florida where she had a 9.6.
Sadie Jane Barry starts out with her first release element called a chapache, straight body release into an immediate pack salto back down to the low bar. The judges are looking for pirouetting that is right on top of the bar. It looked like she was just a bit shy of handstand there. Finishing off this routine with a stalder to a double tuck, and she gets the landing. 3rd stick for Georgia on bars.
Did not look like a freshman who has not competed in 4 weeks. It's January 24th, and that's 3 straight sticks to start the night for Georgia.
Let's see that dismount again. Little bit short on that handstand, but beautiful legs together and toes pointed in that double tuck. Finds that landing.
Kennedy Griffin with a great start for Mizzou, but a 9.65 and a 9.7 for Jackson and Kelly to follow up. And now it's back to Hannah Horton, who had a struggle on vault season low 9.675 last Friday.
Hannah Horton with a Yurchenko 1.5 and sticks it. The crowd in here is going crazy. They are sure happy with that vault.
Both these teams have dealt with so much adversity throughout the season, and after back-to-back scores that were lower than you would want, Hannah Horton just delivered here in a big way.
Beautiful Yurchenko 1.5, legs glued together the entire time. That is what head coach Shannon Welker was hoping to see more of tonight.
Now Addie Wall, the sophomore from Zanesville, Ohio. 9.95. That was a career high on bars last week in their win at home versus Arkansas. It also tied a team high because they had a couple 9.95s. Lily Smith did the same on bars last week, and she has yet to go. She'll be in that anchor spot. So Hannah Horton with a 9.9. Currently dropping that Rayleigh Jackson 9.65. 9.925 for Addie. Both these teams had their season best 197.2 in road meets a couple of weeks ago. When we talked to Shannon Welker, he's kind of eyeing more of a 197.5 just about. And they didn't start well on vault last Friday, but they found it in a hurry. It helps when you have a program record performance like they did on floor. But we mentioned vault was going to be huge for both these teams here today. And, well, for Georgia on bars, you look at the emphasis. And so far, the dismounts have been great, and they're sticking the landing consistently. What does this kind of a weight do for you as a former gymnast, though? Does it make you a little antsy?
It gets you a little bit nervous, but, you know, co-head coach Ryan Roberts was talking about all of the mental training these gymnasts have been doing since preseason. So for Addie Wall, this is just another day for her.
At the contrast there, Ryan Roberts, who's kind of an all gas, no brakes kind of guy. Perfect compliment to Cecil Conquito-Landy, and also on the other side, Shannon Welker also likes to keep it light and a little bit loose as well. He has a lot of fun. But Addie Wall had a sizable break. You see a little smile on her face. She's just about ready to go now. So 3 very solid scores for Georgia on bars. They get to the back half. Wall, Scott, and Smith, who can all deliver big numbers.
wall, starting out with another shapash to immediate pack salto. Beautifully done. Finding that handstand on the half pirouette. A little bit short on that last cast, gearing up for the dismount. And she held on to it. She got the stick. Will likely be a small deduction for that arm circle, but another stuck landing for Georgia on bars.
A little lean back, but a lot of strength to keep those feet planted.
She was gripping hard with those toes. Another look at that. Little bit of an arm circle, but she holds on to the stick.
So great to have that energy and your teammates right behind you. Now Jocelyn Moore, who's so terrific here on vault.
Another Yurchenko 1.5 with a step forward. She did step over those yellow lines that are marked on the map, which will be a deduction. She gets so much height and amplitude on that vault. Just has to spot that landing a little bit earlier.
She's had a struggle on vault of late, even though she was the vault champ in the SEC back in 2023. Later tonight, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the Oklahoma Gymnastics team. You can never-before-seen footage and sound from gymnasts and coaches. A real behind-the-scenes look. That's at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Here is Jeffrey Scott. So we talked about 10s out of the jump today. Georgia still eyeing their first 10 of the season. This was certainly a candidate. It's Jeffrey Scott.
Huge releases for Jeffrey Scott. She actually does an extra release, a shapash half, which won't get her any extra bonus, but does look nice in the routine. Finishes off with a stretch double A dismount and nails the landing.
Coach Roberts talked about just being able to compete with attention to detail for her. She's got so much difficulty in her bars routine. This looks sensational.
She makes it look so easy.
She's had a 9-8 or better in all 5 bars routines. That certainly looks like a trend that's going to continue. So after Hannah Horton's 9.925, Jocelyn Moore is the 9.75. Her vault struggles kind of continue, and the vault struggles continue in general for Mizzou.
We're hoping for a big score from Amari Celestine here, doing another Yurchenko 1.5 twist. An excellent landing from Amari Celestine. Small hop forward, but overall well-controlled and good form throughout.
That brings us to Lily Smith on bars, and we told you in the open what she did on bars last year in Athens against these Missouri Tigers.
Lily Smith just has beautiful lines on bars. She's a tall gymnast, but she makes herself look even more tall with how elegant she swings.
First career 10, always a threat to have a 10, especially on this event. She's a perfectionist, and when you're this good, I think you can afford to be one.
Gearing up for the dismount here. A tucked full in, and she nails it. Georgia Bulldogs are 6 for 6 on the sticks on bars. That was an excellent routine from Lily Smith.
Chenge Bakshi started with a 9.85. That could well be the score they drop in this first rotation on bars for Georgia. This is their best event, and they are setting the tone on it here in the first rotation. Here's another look.
Just beautiful lines. Toes are pointed throughout. Just nails that handstand on top. I mean, she's even pointing her toes in her double tuck right before the landing. Cecile Concato Landy's chanting 10, hoping for a big score there.
Both those coaches could bring energy. Lily Smith has crushed the last couple of meets on bars and floor. Over the last 2, she's averaging a 9.925 on both. And that's a 9.95. And a 49.475 in the first rotation for Georgia. 8th in the country in this event, and what a way to start their night. They'll have an advantage of 3/10 after the opening rotation. For Missouri, they're going to have to wait at least one more week to try to figure things out on vault. But for this Georgia team, they won at home versus Arkansas. Big W against the number 15 team in the land last week after a terrific performance, the one-night 7-2 at Auburn. And it feels like Georgia's really peaking at a good time.
They are. We have an exhibition routine from Sydney Fitzgerald. Beautiful release moves down to the low bar. And finishing off with a stretch double leg dismount, and she finds the landing as well.
Sticks could be contagious. Exhibit A is what Georgia did on bars here today in Como. When we come back, we'll talk about one of the new coaches for this Georgia side. Here. I mean, Georgia, they set a season high on bars last week with a 49.425. They eclipsed that today, and that's their best event. But, I mean, think about on beam and floor in rotations 3 and 4. They've been sensational the last few weeks. So Georgia is in position right now, Adelina, to have a huge night.
Of course, they could not have asked for a better way to start off the meet. And when we spoke to head coach Ryan Roberts, that was exactly what they were hoping to do today.
So Mizzou is struggle on vault. It's Nia Howard that'll lead things off on vault for the Bulldogs. To compete on vault, bars, and beam.
Nia Howard starts off the Bulldogs with a Yurchenko full. Chest up was great, just a small hop backwards on that landing.
9.75 on vault last week. It was her first vault attempt since January 24th. An amazing freshman season. For the now junior, had a battle back from an offseason injury a year ago. She fell in her first meet, the team's first meet this year. They had 3 falls very early in that opening quad meet in Denver. I mean, both these teams competed against each other in as well, but a lot has changed for the Bulldogs since those early falls.
It sure has, and that was a great start for them on vault, and they are looking to continue to build throughout this rotation.
Burns on bars is next, the grad student on the run from Blue Springs, Missouri. And a 9.825 on bars last time. This will be her 7th time competing on this apparatus. 9.825 or better in all 6 attempts so far in this event. Her 3rd straight year performing on vault and bars after she didn't perform on either of those in the first couple of years. She's had an interesting journey so far in her time, the grad student here with the Tigers.
Beautiful start for Kira Burns on bars. She opens with a straddle Jaeger to immediate bail. Beautiful form throughout. Finishing up on the high bar with a straight body cast to a double lay dismount. Little hop backwards on that landing, but I don't even know if you could tell.
She hid that well. It might have actually been the biggest hop we've seen so far tonight on bars, but it disguised it well and a good start for Mizzou.
Huge release move. Great leadoff routine for the Missouri Tigers on bars.
Only see her on bars tonight. The 9.75, the posted score for Nia Howard to get things started on vault. We give way to Jeffrey Scott. Great on bars. 9.8 on vault. That was a season low last Friday at home versus Arkansas.
Jeffrey Scott with another Yurchenko full on vault. Small step backwards on that landing. Overall, really great amplitude.
9.8 or better at all 5 vaults this year. Lawrence is next up on bars. Last time competing in this event was back on January 17th.
Great release combination from Addison Lawrence. Shaposh to pack down to the low bar. Beautiful cast handstand. Gearing up for the dismount. A giant full double tuck, and Missouri gets the landing. She looked pretty happy with that one, Max.
So Kira Burns is the 9.77.5. Shannon Welker is hoping everybody can get a 9.8 or better. A 9.8 projects you out in the average there for the whole meet at a 196. He's hoping for a 197 plus.
Right on top of the bar, the judges are looking for that handstand to be within 10 degrees, and she nails it right on top. There'll be no deduction there.
Great job from the production team as well. That was perfection all around. Chenge Bakshi as she let things off on bars.
Chenge Bakshi with a huge Yurchenko 1.5. Small hop forward on that landing, but overall well controlled.
I mean, she's so well versed and strong in vault because she competed on vault for Hungary at the Olympics in 2024 in Paris. Solid on vault this year and Olympian on this event, and you know she's going third for Georgia. That's how good things are going right now.
They're looking to continue to build the momentum throughout this rotation.
Addison Lawrence posts a 9.9. And now Hannah Horton, the sophomore from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Hannah Horton just has beautiful lines on bars. Great extension makes her look so tall in the event. It almost looks effortless for her. Beautiful cast handstand, just the dismount left. Double A dismount with a small hop forward. That will be a slightly larger deduction since it was not in the direction of the flip.
Bakshi with a 9.85. See what Hannah Horton delivers once that score is posted. Did have that sizable hop. He's standing the wrong direction. Nyla Aquino is next at a 9.775 on vault. Last week, she was a former state champ on beam, floor, and vault. Freshman from Boston.
Nyla Aquino has a unique vault that we have not seen tonight. It is a soup full in a laid out position. Looks like she landed a little bit short on that landing with her chest down and had to take that hop forward. A little bit of chest down.
So what's the adjustment for her? You're thinking next time, chest down a little bit?
Yeah, I think for next time she'll have to get a little bit more lift with her chest off the table so we can get a little bit more rotation. She can land a little bit more upright. Hopefully not have to take that hop forward.
Hannah Horton over the 9.85. Now back over to Olivia Kelly. Freshman right back to work. 9.825. Her second time on bars last Friday. Just her third time competing in this apparatus in her first season.
Olivia Kelly opens with a huge church to a media bail. Very difficult release combination. Back up to the high bar with several circling elements. A stalder to a double tuck dismount. Another small hop forward on that landing. Looks like her chest was a little bit too far forward. Had to take that hop forward. Excellent height on that release move. Connects it immediately to the bail, back down to the low bar.
When the emphasis this week in training is, you know, the sticks haven't been there, they really haven't been there yet today, does that pressure start to mount a little bit on the athletes?
You know, it's hard not to overthink it. You've been drilling the numbers in practice, and sometimes in a meet when it doesn't show up, it can be a bit frustrating, but as head coach Shannon Welker told us, we're staying in the moment.
Process versus results is really a big emphasis in our discussions with both coaching staffs this week.
Addie Wall with a Yurchenko 1.5 on vault and nails it. No movement from the feet there. Beautiful stick. And the team is chanting 10.
Addie Wall, the sophomore, who really, even as a youngster, leads by example. She struggled on vault the last few weeks, stumping above a 9.775 the last 3 weeks. But, I mean, you can see just the facial expression adorned on her face. She was psyched this time.
She's pretty excited with that one. Even got the Georgia Gym Dogs blinged out jacket.
Always got to have the swag down on the mat, right? Get the people going. Get everybody excited. Amari Celestine, who's not competing in the all-around today. I'll be competing in the all-around for either side here today.
Amari has another difficult routine with 3 release moves. That was a Shaposh half and a very unique dismount. Doesn't quite find that landing, but overall really great routine from Amari Celestine.
And you could tell, even though she didn't stick it fully, the folks here at Columbia love her. That was the loudest roar probably of the day for a former 5-star recruit who came from California to the Midwest, hasn't missed a beat, has lived up to the billing each and every season for the now senior.
She just makes it look so easy. Huge, very unique dismount off bars.
Got a 39.625 in the all-around last week. That was tied for the 7th best mark in Missouri history for someone who didn't compete in the all-around as a freshman, sophomore, or junior. Anaya Smith will close things out on vault for the Bulldogs.
Anaya Smith is competing another Yurchenko 1.5. Looks like she was a little bit short on rotation and had to take a step backwards, which will be a slightly larger deduction.
She got a 9.85. That was actually a team high last Friday after back-to-back weeks where she posted a 9.9. And now it's ladies who went leadoff having their scores dropped for both the respective sides, who have answered strong after facing a little early adversity. And here's what we highlighted in that tee. Smara Vitarsoli from the Netherlands, the grad student, Long Island transfer, SEC Bars co-champ from a year ago.
Mara has beautiful lines on this event. Her toe point, so gorgeous. Beautiful cast handstand on the high bar to a giant full double tuck. Small hop backwards on the landing. Very clean routine overall.
When you talk about toe points, it feels like Mara stands out as well as Lily Smith on the other side for Georgia. Just how much do those stick out to you in terms of how good they are?
The gymnastics looks so beautiful. It's almost like the cherry on top. It is so elegant and makes it look so gorgeous. She has her toes pointed in her double back.
Anaya Smith did post a 9.75. That was the same as Nia Howard's score, who lent things off. It will be a 49.1 on vault for Georgia after their 49.475 season best mark on bars. And Mizzou with a quality effort of their own, currently dropping that Kira Burt score, but we're still awaiting Vitarsoli's posted number. See how tight things are going to be after we hit the halfway point to the conclusion of rotation 2. So we talked about the keys to the vault. Well, I'd say the vault is still shut. Neither team really figured it out this week, but there's still a few weeks left to try to figure out that apparatus that's kind of been plaguing both teams.
Yeah, overall, better performances from both teams on vault throughout this season. It looks like those landings are just not quite there yet. A little bit of hops and steps here and there. Overall, great amplitude, great body positions, just needing to really hone in on those landings.
When the judges are in that good of spirits, I think everybody is in that good of spirits. So when you had to wait for the scores, I mean, whether it wasn't you or it was you, how nerve-wracking is a moment like this?
It is nerve-wracking sometimes. Now that it is a transition period, it actually allows the gymnast a moment to breathe and prepare for the next event. With a meet so close, seeing the scores can be quite nerve-wracking.
Well, Mari Celestine with a 9.925. Going to be the high on Mizzou for bars unless Itar Soli's score surpasses that. She had recorded the first 10 on bars in Missouri history. That was almost exactly a year ago today. It was February 16th, so a year and 5 days ago when she had that perfect 10. Mizzou's got 2 10s this year on 2 different events. One on floor and one on beam. Just looking for their first on bars. We'll see what that posted score will be coming up. We're talking Mizzou leadership with all this veteran presence. Into the third rotation that sends Mizzou over to balance beam, where Amy Weir will get things started. The redshirt junior who didn't compete her first 3 years at Oklahoma, only exhibition there. But in year 1 with Mizzou, she's played a very important role, and Shannon Welker has tabbed her as one of the biggest surprises for this team this year. It feels like someone who, like the team, is just growing into this season well.
Absolutely. Being a leadoff on balance beam is not easy, and Amy handles it so well. She's so calm and brings a level of confidence that you really need for the beam team for the rest of that rotation.
Got a 9.9 on beam a couple of weeks ago at Illinois on February 9th, her first career event title. What a huge moment that was for her and for this coaching staff at Team all this year.
Amy starts her routine with a front aerial back handspring series. It's a triple series. Very well done. Every gymnast has to have a full turn in their beam routine, so you will see lots of those today. Jump series looks so easy for her. You can notice her fluidity on beam. She stays moving. The judges are looking for a constant, steady tempo on the dance elements. Finishes the routine with a cartwheel gainer full dismount. A little bit of an arm swing there, which will be a deduction, but she got the stick.
So that arm swing from Georgia on bars in their first rotation, but outside of that, what a way to lead things off when you have the pressure on you and you're weird.
Great lead off for the Missouri Tigers on beam. This is exactly how you want to start that third rotation. You can see a little bit of that arm circle, but she holds on to it.
How amazing it must be for Weir and for her friends and family to get to watch her compete now week in, week out, meet in, meet out. Aaron Williams, the junior from Knoxville, Tennessee, competing for the 7th time she's competed in all meets on floor. Season high at 9.875.
Opens up her routine with a huge double pike, a little bit too much power, and had to take a few slides backwards, which will be a deduction. The judges are looking for controlled landings, keeping those feet solid on the floor when you land your pass. You may notice each gymnast in the Georgia Bulldogs floor rotation has a Go Dogs chant in their floor routine that the team and crowd can do with them.
It's what you gotta love if you're in attendance or you're at home and you're watching floor, because it's all about showmanship.
Absolutely. They're putting on a performance, high-level difficulty, high-level leaps, and making it all look easy with dance in between.
9.85 last week. 49.4 was a season high for Georgia on floor last week at home with Arkansas.
Last pass, finished with a double tuck. Found that landing, no feet movement there. Strong lead off for the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's take a look at that double pike. You can see her feet slide backwards on floor. However, on this pass, huge double tuck, nails that landing.
We'll talk about it with Helen Hu. We'll talk about it with Kara Anker, but same boat for Erin Williams. I mean, how tough is it when you're performing on one event and that event is not in the first or second rotation? You have to sit down and watch your teammates for a long time and then go out there.
It can be mentally challenging, but it looked like no problem for Erin Williams.
Maddie Miller, the grad student in Rochester, Minnesota. Minnesota transferred her first season. 9.825 on beam last Friday. Competed in the all-around in all 12 meets last year.
She opens up with a back handspring layout step out. Beautifully done. She's looking so solid on this routine so far. I mean, that's what you get with the fifth year. They have the experience. Just the dismount left. Finishes off with a round off 1.5, just a small hop forward. I really didn't see many other deductions in that routine.
Solid performance overall. I meant from Minnesota, Illinois transfer. She did go to Minnesota, but competed in the all-around, so you know she's special when it comes to her talent on all four events. Amy Weir got things started with a 9.875. And then look at the score right now in your bottom right corner. It's an exact replica of each other.
On the floor for Georgia, Holly Snyder.
Holly Snyder, great story in her own right. Had hip surgery last summer. She's back and thriving on floor. When we talked to head coach Ryan Roberts earlier this week, he said they did not think they would have her back on floor at all this year. Well, now she's back. She's been on floor for a few weeks, and she's looked electric.
Such an entertaining floor routine. A little bit of rock and roll music for her choreography. Opening up with a front 1.5 twist, layout to a stag jump. That skill is called a Rudy. Every gymnast on floor must have a leap series. The judges are really looking for 180-degree splits and well-controlled landings. Snyder does a 2-pass routine, so this is her final pass. Double pike to finish. Great landing to end out that routine. Let's take another look at that front handspring Rudy. Back layout to a huge stag jump. Well-controlled landing there. Ending with a strong double pike. Really great routine from Holly Snyder.
And you gotta love when it's classic rock in the background too. Do you have a favorite genre in your days to cheer on your teammates or go compete?
Anything that I could dance to.
Olivia Kelly, third on beam after a 9.875 and a 9.85 from Weir and from Miller. What was your favorite apparatus to compete on in your days?
My favorite was bars, but I always loved watching beam and floor. I was done at that point, so I could finally relax.
Now you're the reverse of what we talked about earlier. You go out there, you vault, you hop on the bars, and then you get to be a cheerleader, right? You know, on the side, right? What's the most stressful one to watch, though? Because it's got to be in the third or fourth rotation.
Yes, balance beam for sure, but Olivia Kelly here is doing absolutely fantastic. No issues at all. It was a double wolf turn. She was not supposed to put her hands down at the beam at that time, so I'm unsure what they're going to do with that, as it may count as a fall.
Ali Snyder with a 9-9.
Olivia Kelly finishing off with a beautiful stuck round off 1.5 dismount.
The freshman who's already done so much in a short time here at Columbia, and you can see just her potential just boundless. But there's look at the little mess up.
She had to place her hands on the beam. But definitely finds the landing at the end of that routine.
On the floor for Georgia, J.K. Bachstein.
Like the Chenge Bakshi.
Opened up with a full twisting double tuck and had to put her hands down, so that will be counting as a fall. Not quite the way she wanted to open up her floor routine. Leap past straddle half to Popa, which is a full twisting straddle jump. She does it very well. Finishing out her routine here, round off peg handspring, 2.5 twists to a front tuck, very difficult tumbling pass.
You can see her toughness, able to gut through that early mishap, and both gymnasts in the 3 spot for their respective teams with those struggles, and now it's up to the back half of these lineups to try to make up for a mistake from Kelly and a mistake from Bashki.
Next on the beam for Missouri,
Addison Lawrence, the last time she was on beam here at the Hurt Center, she led things off with that upset win versus number 6 Kentucky. She actually fell off the beam in that leadoff spot. And Shannon Walker's got a ton of confidence in her to respond right here.
Addie is so fun to watch on this event. She has gorgeous lines, great fluidity throughout. Addison Lawrence has a fairly unique series. Side aerial back handspring, done very well. No wobbles on that. Nails that jump series, split jump, split 3/4. No issues for her. All she has left here is the dismount. Finishing off with a round off 1.5 twist. very clean routine.
Felt very calm and composed outside of that little step there at the end. She was locked in and in control.
Let's take another look at that dismount. She gets such great height off the beam, legs glued together. Had a little bit too much momentum going forward and had to take that step. She looks pretty happy with that routine.
What's that moment like on the beam when you've gone through everything and all you have left is the dismount and you're just trying to stick that landing?
You know, a lot of preparation goes into training for that moment. When you hit such a great routine, all you want to do is end with a stuck dismount.
I feel like it can be tough on you mentally because no matter how good the routine looks, you hobble a little bit at the end. It's what happens last, so it's what the fans and viewers remember too.
It's what the judges remember as well.
Addie Wall now. One of the sophomores, this collection of gymnasts in year 2 that were a part of that #1 freshman class in the country a couple of years ago. Her and Lily Smith have played such important roles here in the first couple of years down in Athens. So Addison Lawrence with a 9.875. That Chenge Bakshi score finally goes up as a 9.075. But Addison Lawrence stepping up in a huge role so far tonight.
Georgia Bulldogs are looking to snap back right after that fall, right before Addie Wall. She opens up with a very difficult pass, full twisting double back, beautiful, well-controlled landing. That is an E pass, an E difficulty. One of the hardest that a gymnast can do in college gymnastics.
Well, Georgia not only set a season high in Florida last week, they set their season high the week prior to that as well, so they have been going off on Florida. Wall, Aquino, and Smith coming. They have to work that for them right now.
Georgia is hoping to get this team right back on track with Addie Wall's floor performance. She's gearing up for her last tumbling pass. Front tuck step out, round up by handspring, double tuck. A little bit short on that landing. Looks like she may have crunched her ankles a little bit, but she stays on her feet. Addie Wall opening again, full twisting, double tuck, very difficult pass. Here we're going to see that last pass. Doesn't quite get the height off the floor on that punch. Lands a little bit short, and you can see those ankles maybe hurting after that.
How aware are you in the air that you didn't, get enough punch on that, and you know your rotation's going to be a little off?
Usually you can tell right from the punch. It doesn't feel as strong or dynamic, and you know you're going to have to pull a little bit harder on that tuck position to make it around.
Really Jackson earlier today on 9.65 on vault.
Starts out with a solid series, front aerial, back handspring. She's really been a strong competitor for the Tigers on beam this season. Gorgeous 180-degree leaps on that combo. freshman in the 5th position is unusual on balance beam, as usually those later positions are for veterans, but she is handling this really well. Just the dismount left. Round off 1.5. Large step to the side a little bit on that dismount. Kind of hoping for the stick there, but overall, solid routine.
At a 9.85 or better 5 straight times on beam, including exactly a 9.85 in back-to-back meets. Freshman has been unfazed this year.
Perfect 180-degree split on that. A little bit sideways off the beam there and had to take a step sideways.
Aquino on floor. She had a 9.6, the freshman, in her floor debut a month and a half ago. She's had a 9.8 or better in 5 meets since, including setting a career high in back-to-back and a 9.95 on floor a week ago.
Nyla Aquino opening with a front tuck, step out to a double back, and really great control on that landing. Just a small step backwards, which is not a deduction. Gymnasts are allowed to take a step, 1 step in the direction of the flip that is well controlled. And she did that nicely. Can see her teammates dancing in the back with her. Such a fun routine. Great choreography. She gets so high on those jumps. Getting ready for her last pass. The double pike finish. Little bit short on that landing, and it had to take a small step forward, but covers it up like it's nothing.
Freshman with a solid performance, and now it's time for the anchor on beat for Mizzou. That means it's time for Helen Hu. 2020 to 2023, you see everything she was able to do on bars and beam. She had the ACL tear, missed the 2021 season. I mean, her journey has been long. It has been arduous. Announced her retirement a couple of years ago. And spent all of last year backpacking in Europe, in Asia, in South America with her sister. Decided she wanted to return to Missouri and spend this extra year. And, well, she got her first career 10 on beam January 17th at number 1, Oklahoma. Says she feels like now she's out here because she can, not because she has to. That helped bring her back. She's got a 10. She's always a 10 threat on this apparatus.
Really finding the joy in the sport again. Helen Hu has great artistry on beam and unique skills. Very difficult turn, brings her leg straight up to the side of her head. You have not seen that yet tonight from any other gymnast. Very unique series, front aerial, very difficult. She does it so well.
Two-time All-American on beam, last 3 events on beam in January, had a 9.975 or better, including that perfect 10.
With her experience, she is so valuable to this team. Having competed for 4 years beforehand, she's so solid and can do some interesting tricks like that for a little bit of flair in her dance elements. All she has left is the dismount. Gainer front pike with a stick.
The beam is her paintbrush. That's another masterpiece from Helen Hu. Crowd really wants that perfect 10.
They're all chanting it.
I mean, of course they are. She had one a month ago. She's so sublime on beam. Doesn't get much better. She just does not feel any kind of pressure ever in that anchor spot either. Nyla Aquino, by the way, the freshman, did deliver a 9.925. That was the last posted score on floor. This could be a big number coming for who?
Again, front aerial series. Unique skill there. Showing off that flexibility and artistry. Great height on that dismount and finds the landing there.
9.975, a terrific score, but in the background you could hear the Boo Birds coming down here at the Hurt Center. They wanted that 10. Talk about great anchors. Well, it's Lily Smith as the counter for the Bulldogs. At a season high 9.95 on floor last Friday.
Lily Smith opening up with a front handspring double fold. That is an E difficulty pass. She does it so well. She may have stumbled a bit. I think her foot may have slipped on the floor on that landing, but covered it well. Lily Smith's showmanship really is fantastic. You just want to watch. Finishing off with another Rudy to straddle jump. Gorgeous finish from Lily Smith.
She captivates an audience, that's for certain. And her best event is actually her next event as well on beam.
Let's take another look at that second pass. 1.5 front layout. Looks like she landed maybe a slightly short and had to take a step backwards on that pass.
Jessica Nadera, the sophomore from Wentzville, Missouri, now with an exhibition on beam. She competed the first couple of meets with a 9.25 average. How big are these moments, these exhibitions, for any gymnast, whether that be a veteran trying to refine their form, or maybe a youngster who hasn't gotten that in-meet experience yet?
Having an exhibition routine is really such a great opportunity. I mean, these gymnasts are heading into the last few meets of the regular season, and then, oh no, looks like she was a little bit crooked on that front toss and fell off. These moments are important for competitors to show what they can do in a competition setting, to get more experience in an arena. It's so loud in here, and it can be really overstimulating and nerve-wracking to compete in a big arena. Not quite the performance she was looking for, but great experience nonetheless.
So a 9.8 to finish things out for Lily Smith, a 49.225 for Georgia, 49.325 for Mizzou. They continue their steady climb since a tough start to the night on vault. They have really responded tremendously. They had a 4.93 on beam last Friday, surpassed that here this evening. If this as an exhibition, you can see the score we will have at the end of this third rotation. Before we get to the final one, that'll send Mizzou over the floor. That is when every seat will be, every person I should say, will be at the edge of their seat after a program record last week. And Georgia will head over to the balance beam They had a 4.925 last week. Still a lot to be determined.
Sydney Fitzgerald looking really great on this exhibition floor routine. She is really looking to prove to herself and the coaches and her teammates that she's ready to be in this floor lineup.
Junior from Evans, Georgia. Competed on beam last Friday at a 9.825. Back-to-back 9.825s on beam. In the exhibition here to close out this third rotation. Road score so huge for NQS. Georgia's high of the season was on the road at Auburn. 197.2 a couple of weeks ago. And now we're through our third rotation. Just one more to go. We're back with more here from the Hurt Center. Through three rotations. Just by 3/4 of a tenth, though. Mizzou is over to floor. Georgia is over to beam. Bulldogs 15th in the nation at NQS on this event. Nia Howard will lead things off. 9.85 on beam last Friday. That was a new season high for the junior from Chesapeake, Virginia. One of those trio of gymnasts for Georgia that fell in the first meet. But Coach Roberts said she has just been so steady since. Really has a nice controlled breath, especially in this event.
She opens up with a back handspring layout step out series. So solid. This leadoff position, especially at an away meet, can be quite challenging, but she is handling it with no pressure. Solid side aerial. Just the dismount left. Back handspring, gainer layout full. Finds the landing with a perfect stick. She looks pretty happy with that one. That is just the way the Georgia Bulldogs wanted to start off on beam.
I'd say if you were gauging off reaction alone, absolutely. That was sensational. So Mizzou leading things off on floor will be Elise Tisler. When you look at what they've done on floor this year, 5th in the country at NQS with a 49.375. The bar has been set very high. 49.725 last Friday, a program record. She led things off with a season high herself of 9.9.
Elise Tisler starting out with a front handspring front layout, 1.5 twist. Well controlled on that landing. This routine is so high energy with really engaging choreography, which is exactly how you want to start off the final rotation at home. Looking great from Tisler so far. Just the final pass left. She does a round off 1.5 front layout. Well-controlled step on that landing and drops the mic at the end.
Mizzou's been so good on floor for so long, but even better this year. And Coach Shannon Walker talked to us about choreography. It feels like it's been a big area where they have improved upon, even from years past.
Absolutely. See that pass again. Glued legs. nice and straight, toes pointed.
Just a primal roar.
Yeah, she looks excited with that one.
A 9-9 for Nia Howard to start this fourth rotation. That brings up Brooke Lachowski, the freshman from Gainesville, Florida. From Gainesville, ends up at Georgia. Her six-time performing on balance beam this year. Her career high was 9.95. Where did that take place? In Gainesville against the Gators.
Starting off with a difficult triple series. Looks like she was a little bit off in that second back handspring and corrected it. Very solid start for Glachowski.
New season high for Elise Tisler on floor as well, just surpassing that 9.9 from a week ago. So that started the program record performance on floor. You can easily say this is an even better start here today.
The Georgia Bulldogs are looking to keep momentum. They started off with a 9.9 leadoff on beam, which is very impressive. Just the dismount, round off 1.5 with a small hop forward. Otherwise, no major deductions in that routine.
Ryan Roberts told us this is the team that is just very detail-focused and detail-oriented at this point in the season. Improving the lines, improving the sticks. Well, the sticks were contagious early. Not one here, but a solid all-around performance. Jackson, the freshman, going second with that great score for Tisler.
Rayleigh Jackson has a Black Swan themed floor routine. Has a little bit more dance elements. Opens with a huge double pike. Little bit of foot slide on that landing. One and a half front layout. Beautiful control. To a switch half, fairly difficult leap pass. I don't know if you can feel it from home, but this routine is intense. Finishing off with a strong double tuck, keeps those feet glued. Really great floor performance from Rayleigh Jackson.
Another freshman out there performing well beyond her years. Rayleigh Jackson, a 9.925 on floor. It's a career high last Friday, even though it was her first time competing on floor in 4 weeks. It didn't look like it, and a great follow-up effort here tonight.
Really great job controlling that landing. It takes a high level of endurance to be able to perform so strong at the very end of that floor routine.
Anya Turner is next up on beam, a sophomore from Highland Ranch, Colorado. She had a season high on beam, 9.925. Shared the event title versus Arkansas. 9.9 or better in 2 of her last 3 on this apparatus.
She has been such a staple in this beam lineup. So much control, elegance on this event.
Made her career high on beam. 9.95 came at the SEC Championship last year.
Very difficult triple series back handspring, layout, step out. No issue for her. Gorgeous 180-degree leaps on that leap series. She's looking to finish this routine strong. Round off 1.5 twist and finds the landing. Beautiful routine from Anya Turner.
Anya Turner, that was sensational. Was dead focused the whole time, barely missed a beat.
Very difficult triple series. She does it perfectly.
Look at the intensity in the background from the teammates, and that holds it. The energy, I mean, both these coaching staffs talked about it, but especially Ryan Roberts talking about how communication equals energy, and really energy equals success, and that's a big reason over the last few weeks they've been able to step up their game. Hannah Horton, the sophomore. This Missouri team, Shannon Welker talked about, not the normal makeup of a team maybe ranked in the top 10. They've got a lot of youth, 4 transfers. They have veterans too as well. Got a really good core group.
Hannah Horton opening with a difficult E-pass, full twisting, double tuck, not even a mat on the floor. Controls that landing very well.
Anya Turner was 9.975. What a start to beam for Georgia.
Hannah Horton with some fun choreography on floor, Michael Jackson themed floor routine. Assistant coach Jackie Turpak has so much fun choreographing these floor routines for each individual gymnast. Hannah finishing off with a front-booted double tuck, keeps those knees together, a little bit of a foot slide on that landing, which will be a deduction.
Had a 9.825 or better in all floor routines. She's competed on floor in every meet except last week. Kiddos loved it.
Oh yeah, there's having so much fun.
Kids always contribute so greatly to these great SEC atmospheres. Jeffrey Scott, 9.825 her average on beam this year. And a 9.7, that was a season low last Friday.
This is really a routine to watch. Jeffrey Scott has very unique skills on this event that we have not seen yet tonight.
We're also going to go from a Michael Jackson theme on floor to a moonwalk on beam.
Absolutely. Jeffrey opening with a front handspring, back handspring, layout step out. Very unique series. You do not see that much in NCAA college gymnastics. Front aerial to a beautiful split jump to a media back handspring. This routine is full of combination skills. She's really doing a great job so far.
Always a crowd favorite.
She's the 8th Georgia Bulldog gymnast to do that on the balance beam, a tradition that's been passed down to her. Front handspring, front layout dismount, also extremely unique. She does it so well, just a small hop forward on that landing.
Jeffrey Scott, the junior from just down the road in Kansas City, Missouri, too. She's right back near her hometown. Still eyeing that 10 she's been chasing. No Bulldog has a 10 yet this year, and She looked so close for the majority of that routine to perfection until that little hop. But it's still just another stellar routine. There was a change for Mizzou in this floor lineup. Jocelyn Moore no longer part of it here tonight. And instead, we'll see Kaya Tonskison. Freshman from Howell, Michigan.
Her first appearance on floor this season. What an opportunity for her. She opens up with a full twisting double tuck. Just a step backwards on that landing. For being a new competitor on this event, Kaya Tonskison looking really great, beautiful showmanship, really drawing in the crowd. Gearing up for a 1.5 front full, very difficult combination pass, and she does it really well. Fantastic routine for her first appearance.
Let's see the fist pump for Shannon Welker in the background, a freshman with her debut on floor and delivered.
Here again, that 1.5 front full, well-controlled step. She should be really proud of herself. Looks like a little teammate handshake.
Kara Aker, the Utah transfer, similar script with Helen Hu, in that she did not compete collegiately last year. She had retired. A mental health advocate. 9.875 on beam. Her and Helen Hu both didn't compete last year, both only competing on beam this year, and both doing an incredible job. As the high average on this apparatus for Georgia, 9.9.
This routine is just packed with difficulty. You may have noticed she did a leap onto the beam, which is risky in college gymnastics, and she does it so well.
U.S. Olympic alternate in 2020, 4-year member of the USA national team, 2-time first-team All-American on beam.
Very difficult series there. Side aerial layout step out. We've seen similar series tonight, but most of them have done a back handspring. She did not use her hands, which makes it that much more difficult.
Tonskison in her floor debut, 9.9.
Fantastic work.
Quarter of a tenth the difference right now between Georgia and Missouri.
It can be difficult to end such a tight meet on the balance beam, but the Georgia Bulldogs are really handling it well. These girls are stepping up and hitting when it counts. Kara finishing out with a cartwheel, gainer full. She lacks a little bit of height on that dismount, but overall, really great routine.
She's got 2 career 10s on beam. They both came with the Utes. Always a threat to put up a high score, and right now Georgia on beam would be dropping a 9.875. Her teammates loving it. Kara Aker, the junior from Kansas City, Missouri, soaking it in as Amari Celestine, the senior, takes center stage.
She's definitely a fan favorite in this home crowd. Everyone has their eyes glued on Amari Celestine right now. Celestine opens her floor routine with a full twisting double tuck, nearly stuck. Really great job. She gets so much height on that pass. leap series. She has so much fun with this routine. Mari Celestine's brother is being shown on the camera here. He has helped choreograph her floor routines all 4 years of college. Excellent finish from Mari Celestine on floor. A front through to double tuck. She nails that landing, very well controlled. This is looking to be a pretty big score for the Tigers.
Massive performance in this very tight meet. Kara Aker with a 9.925 as well. Georgia's going to finish tonight with a season high.
There is her brother again, chanting 10.
He'd love to see it, and he'd play a part in it as well. What an exciting close in this fourth rotation.
It is neck and neck at this point.
Well, Georgia had a 197.2 at Auburn 2 weeks ago. That's their season high. Missouri's season high is the same. It came the same night at Illinois. And Georgia with a 197.35. And they get to give way to the reigning SEC Freshman of the Year. Lily Smith with 9.8 on beam last week. She had a couple of 9.95s last week, though, on bars and floor. So Mari Celestine, a 9.95. And we are all tied with both teams setting new season highs.
An uncharacteristic mistake from Lily Smith on beam. She had to redo her front aerial because she wobbled and would not have gotten that connection. She had to repeat the skill and did a front aerial back tuck. Very well done. That loss of connection in the redo of skill will be a deduction. Very unique piked front toss. That is a very difficult skill to do, but you wouldn't know it because she does it so well. She extends all the way through her fingertips and her toes. She just looks so elegant on this event. Finishing with a stuck Yurchenko full. Not quite the performance she was probably hoping for, but great job nonetheless.
Great dismount on a great night. Not sure she delivered a score that's going to give them a victory, and will probably, and this come down to how about it. We're all tied as things stand. The last performer of the night is Kennedy Griffin, coming off the 10 last week at floor. Crowd can sense it. Stage is set. Can Kennedy Griffin take Mizzou across the finish line tonight?
Kennedy Griffin opens with a huge double pike. The controlled step to a lunge. We spoke to head coach Shannon Welker this week and asked how her training has been coming off of a 10. And he said, it's business as usual. We stick to the plan, and Kennedy is such a hard worker and a great person overall. It's been a joy to watch her compete this event this season.
With Lily Smith's score posted, Kennedy Griffin needs to surpass a 9.85 to give Mizzou the victory.
And I think she may have just done it. A front through to double tuck. Very well controlled. The crowd is loving this routine right now. A little bit of Beyonce. Just the leap series left. Huge amplitude on that. No question of a 180. Fantastic finish.
The sensational Kennedy Griffin. Did she just win it for the Tigers? At the end of the night, it's a season high for both these teams who performed so well. We talked about it in the open. Georgia and Mizzou just continuing to get better. And how about this, delivering with all the pressure on the shoulders? Kennedy Griffin. Shannon Welker talked about it's not pressure, it's opportunity for Mizzou to have maybe their best season in program history. This crowd thinks that Mizzou just won it with that floor effort for Griffin. We're still awaiting the score. Score is in, a 9-9-2-5 for Kennedy Griffin. It's a walk-off-the-floor victory for Mizzou, a season-high 197.425.
Really great performance from both teams this evening. They were both looking to elevate their game going into these last few meets of regular season and then into SECs, and I would say they did just that.
It's incredible to think that back-to-back weeks, it was not at the Hurt Center, but it was a home meet, so they went in the Olympic order last week. The vault has been a rough start for the Tigers back-to-back weeks, and still they've come out so strong at the end. And when their anchor is floor and it's last, and their anchor tonight coming in the form of Kennedy Griffin, I mean, look at those last three. And don't forget about what Kaya Tonskinen did in her debut on floor with that 9-9 helping turn the tide late.
I think that just says a lot to Missouri's depth that they have on all of their events, starting out with still some room for improvement on vault and clinching the win with a 197.425. That is pretty incredible.
It's really a night where everybody can be pretty pleased. Georgia gets a season high. It's another huge road NQS score for them as well. Their highest two scores of the season have come in their last two true road meets, even though they don't have a true road meet win yet this year. And Missouri, they just keep surpassing what they've done. This will be 5 straight meets of a 197 or better.
On floor, we have an exhibition routine from Kylie Menard. She's exhibitioned this routine a few times this season. Just trying to break into those lineups.
Sophomore from not too far away in Overland Park, Kansas.
A huge front lay to Rudy, which is a 1.5 twist. Forwards in the layout position.
So Shannon Welker told us their goal, what they're aiming for these days, is something close to a 197.5, 197.4. They're right in that window. Talked about separating results from process, but when the process is there, the results follow. I think we saw that tonight.
Absolutely. I think head coach Shannon Welker will be very proud of his team tonight after their performance. Of course, still looking to improve on vault, the attention to detail and nailing those landings, but that only says how well they're going to continue to do the rest of the season if they can nail that down.
Both these sides have 3 more SEC meets left. Georgia gets Kentucky, LSU, and Oklahoma to close things out. Mizzou will face some tough competition naturally as well at Florida, Auburn, and at Arkansas. Down at Fayetteville is not a place you want to be these days. They're upsetting everybody towards the top of the country. Mizzou gets the victory. Just their second meet of the season here at the Herd Center. They get the win in walk-off fashion. Coming back.